When Clara Mason stepped onto the global stage, illuminated by the relentless glare of the spotlight and the expectant eyes of the world, the moment was transformative, not just for her, but for the very fabric of human consciousness. This was not merely the pinnacle of her academic and exploratory pursuits, but a pivotal juncture in human history, a beacon moment signaling the dawn of a new understanding. Clara, standing before an assembly that represented the collective intellect and curiosity of humanity, felt the immense weight of her secret, a secret that was no longer hers alone, but belonged to the world. This weight, rather than oppressing her, felt like a sacred torch she was privileged to bear. It was the light of enlightenment, illuminating a path away from the shadows of our limited understanding of our place in the universe. As she began to speak, her voice steady and clear, there was a palpable shift in the air. The audience, ranging from skeptical scientists to eager young students, from esteemed academics to ordinary individuals with a thirst for knowledge, was caught in a collective breath of anticipation. Clara's words, each carefully chosen, were not just conveying information, but inviting the world to embark on a journey of unprecedented discovery. Clara's heart, though heavy with responsibility, was buoyant with hope. She envisioned a future where humanity recognized its true legacy, not as the dominant species of a lonely planet, but as a small yet significant part of a vast, intricate cosmic tapestry. She spoke of the artifact, a mysterious relic uncovered in the frozen solitude of Antarctica, not as an end but as a beginning, a key unlocking the door to a broader understanding of our cosmic origins and the infinite potential that lay within us and beyond us. The revelation she was sharing was a clarion call to rethink our place in the universe, to see ourselves not as isolated beings, but as connected, integral parts of a much larger whole. It was a call to acknowledge and embrace our cosmic heritage, to explore the boundless potential of the human spirit in the context of this wider universe. As Clara shared her story, the discovery of the artifact, the dreams that guided her, the communication with beings of an intelligence far beyond our own, there was a sense of unity in the auditorium. The revelation that humanity might indeed be part of a grand cosmic experiment, its evolution influenced not by chance but by the deliberate actions of beings from another world, challenged many established doctrines. Yet it also opened the door to a realm of infinite possibilities. Clara's announcement was more than just the unveiling of a scientific discovery. It was an invitation to humanity to step into a new era of cosmic awareness. With each word, she sowed the seeds of a future where humanity recognized its true legacy and potential, a future as boundless as the cosmos itself. In that moment, Clara Mason did not just share a secret. She lit the beacon of a new epoch for humanity, guiding us towards a future enlightened by the knowledge of our place in the grand tapestry of the universe. In the days following Clara Mason's epical announcement, the initial wave of wonder and intrigue that swept across the globe began to ebb, revealing undercurrents of skepticism, fear, and outright hostility. Rather than the unity and insatiable curiosity for exploration Clara had hoped to inspire, she found herself ensnared in a maelstrom of controversy that threatened to engulf the very essence of her discovery. Powerful world leaders, whose authority often rested on the prevailing narratives of human origin and supremacy, perceived Clara's revelations as a direct challenge to the established order. The notion of humanity not being the sole architects of their destiny, but part of a grand cosmic schema orchestrated by alien beings, was too radical, too unsettling to be left unchallenged. In response, they orchestrated a concerted campaign aimed not at disputing the facts Clara presented, but at discrediting the messenger herself. Similarly, religious factions across the spectrum found their foundational doctrines called into question by Clara's disclosure. The implications of humanity's origins and evolution being influenced by extraterrestrial entities were antithetical to many of the stories that formed the backbone of their faiths. In defense of their beliefs, these groups rallied against Clara, casting her as a heretic, a purveyor of dangerous ideas meant to undermine the spiritual fabric of society. Together, these forces of opposition delved into every facet of Clara's life, searching for any scrap of evidence that could be used to tarnish her reputation. Past relationships, academic disputes, even her financial records were subjected to microscopic scrutiny, with every finding twisted and amplified to paint Clara as unreliable, unstable, or deceitful. The authenticity of the artifact itself, the linchpin of Clara's extraordinary claims, was called into question with demands for it to be handed over to government authorities for independent analysis. A move Clara knew would likely result in the artifact's sequestration and the suppression of its secrets. This campaign of character assassination and public doubt was not merely a debate over scientific truth, but a desperate attempt to maintain the status quo. Clara's detractors wielded their influence through media outlets, social media platforms, and pulpit pronouncements, creating a cacophony of skepticism designed to drown out her voice and discredit her findings. The onslaught was relentless and deeply personal, striking at the very heart of Clara's identity as a scientist and as a person. Friends and colleagues were coerced into distancing themselves, leaving Clara increasingly isolated in her fight to defend her discovery. The once celebrated explorer, hailed for her groundbreaking work, now found herself vilified, her every move scrutinized and criticized. As Clara grappled with the backlash, the enormity of the challenge before her became clear. It was no longer just about proving the authenticity of the artifact or the veracity of her claims. It was about defending the right to pursue knowledge, to question established narratives, and to dream of a future unbound by the constraints of fear and ignorance. As the dusk crept over the skyline, casting long shadows through Clara Mason's study, the ringing of the phone shattered the evening's tranquility. Clara, already frayed by the day's barrage of accusations and threats, hesitated before answering. The voice that met her was cold, mechanical, altered beyond recognition. "Surrender the artifact," it demanded, "or face the consequences. Your family's safety is in your hands now." The words hung heavy in the air long after the call had ended. Clara's heart raced, panic gripping her as she envisioned the faces of her loved ones. The discovery that had once filled her with pride and hope for humanity's future now seemed like a Pandora's box, unleashing a darkness she hadn't anticipated. The threats had escalated from professional and public defamation to something far more sinister, a direct threat to her family's safety. The reality of her situation was stark and unforgiving. Clara had known that her revelation would stir controversy, perhaps even incite backlash from certain sectors, but she had never imagined that it would endanger those closest to her. The artifact, a key to humanity's understanding of its place in the cosmos, had become a beacon for malevolence in the hands of those who feared or sought to control the knowledge it represented. As the night wore on, Clara found herself pacing the length of her study, wrestling with an impossible decision. To continue defending her discovery meant to risk the well-being of her family, yet to retract her statement and denounce her findings as a hoax would be to betray everything she stood for: truth, exploration, and the advancement of human knowledge. The idea of a public retraction, once unthinkable, now loomed as a potential necessity. Clara envisioned herself standing before the world, not as the herald of a new era of cosmic understanding, but as a cautionary tale of overreach and deception. She imagined declaring her findings false, a misguided interpretation of a mere curiosity from the Antarctic ice, hoping such a statement might placate the shadowy forces aligned against her.